Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are gonna be continuing the narration and character voice acting for the main story of Arknights, episode 15, Dissociative Recombination. Alright everybody, it is time to continue the story from where we left off last time. But before we do anything else, as always, to anybody who bumps into the voiceover through this very episode, full playlist for the main story is in the description of the video, together with quite a lot of other playlists at this point. Pretty much every story that was kind of mentioned or loosely mentioned in this very main story episode so far is linked in the description down below. So if you have stories that you still need to catch up on, they're pretty much all linked there, and the list of links rather will probably be a bit longer even from last episode today, but mostly because I remembered a couple of them that I didn't put in there. So yeah, there's quite a lot of them, but do enjoy if you want to catch up with some old stuff that you did not have opportunity yet to do so. So yeah, thank you very much and enjoy. But yeah, let's continue with the main story, and also very quick apologies before we do so. I wanted to have this done actually by the weekend, as I thought I would be done by the weekend with this episode, so you guys don't have to wait too long for the next part. But apparently on Friday, my body decided to be like, how about I made you ever so slightly sick for 2 days? And by ever so slightly, I mean for some stupid reason, Friday and Saturday was just like this, my nose full, could barely talk, and yeah, that was an experience. The clip section at the end of today's episode will be actually from one of those 2 days, aka Friday, when I was recording myself just going through the sections of today for the first time, and yeah, you're gonna hear some stuff. So I apologize in advance, because a lot of the clips are probably gonna be me trying to talk about something and then getting annoyed by my nose being in the way of me talking. So sorry, not sorry. But yeah, apologies that it took so long, but you know, you can't really help it. When you're trying to do a character voice that is high-pitched or low-pitched with a nose like this, it doesn't work. That doesn't work whatsoever. It's horrendous. But yeah, anyway, we are gonna continue, and we're gonna do so by starting with a recap of the previous part. So for those who wanna skip, as always, timestamp is down below in the pinned comment. But anyway, last time we began with Closure in New Drip and Friston. Closure is in the process of removing a component from Friston that links him to PRTS, and it seems she'll be doing that to all the other operation platforms too. Afterwards, we witness a strategy meeting between tsit, Doctor, Amiya and Closure. They are discussing their next moves and what to do with the Abyss, aka a sector in Rhodes Island that is not appearing properly on any map of the ship. The Doctor proposes to go down there and see it for themselves, and tsit says she will accompany them there. At the entrance to the sarcophagus in the Abyss, the Doctor confirms with tsit once more that this is where their old self woke up in the past. The Doctor also proposes a theory that she is also here. Tsit sends the Doctor then away, and she goes and talks to Civilite Eterna. Back to Hierda then, she is being introduced to an universal language model by Ray Distorter. He also tells her that the name of the ship that they are on is Rhodes Island. While Hierda keeps learning from Ray Distorter and tells him her life story, we swap back to actual Rhodes Island and quickly check on Warfarin and Chloe. Chloe seems to be getting worse and worse, and her dreams are getting wilder and wilder. Meanwhile, the core components of Rhodes Island are being taken to safety and escorted by elite operators. We also see that the personnel list in PRTS's logs is not corresponding in all cases, at least, with who is where, an attempt to confuse the enemy. Later, Amiya, tsit and the Doctor are discussing the potential leak of information. Amiya and the Doctor also want to link their minds together to go and talk to Civilite Eterna. tsit disagrees with the idea, but later, while she talks to Monster, she inscribes it with information for later and tells it that she will be its final safeguard. Back to Amiya and the Doc, they are done with their mind link and are jumping over the boundary with Civilite Eterna. Civilite welcomes them, the two of them, to the civilization's singularity, a ring-shaped object in space over a planet that harbors a vast amount of data and knowledge. Back on the other Rhodes Island, Hierda meets a new entity, the Presence. This being seems to be of a race that was once feeding upon stars and planets to survive, but now it looks like that this one might be just the last of its kind. Back at the Singularity, Amia weaves together a bridge made from all the data that tsit has ever tried to access in Civilite, and she moves closer to the center of it. In one brief moment, she finds herself looking at the dead planet and the other Rhodes Island before she is thrown back. When she comes to it, the doctor is next to her and is helping her move forward through this onslaught of data. Once close enough to the Singularity, they see another scene. In it, Priestess and Oracle are standing on the deck of Rhodes Island, and she is talking about creating Originium. And yeah, that is pretty much where we left off last time, so today we will continue from there and see where the story takes us. And we will do so by starting from stage number 8, which is titled Broken Echoes. If this treachery is a decision of conscious participation, what has caused you to fall into the abyss? What elusive hope has led you on the path of your own destruction? This stage only has one cutscene, so let's begin. The scene plays out before you, but no matter how hard you try, you cannot get any closer.
Doctor, that person she's talking to, is that you?
I can't say for sure. Priestess and Oracle talk to each other in an unknown language.
I don't believe I'll be able to create a language that will allow us to determine the ultimate answer. Not by myself, at least. I stand on the shoulder of giants, after all. From the base I put together with the greatest discoveries of our colleagues' respective fields, I will continue onwards.
Even if nothing will come of it in the end?
Of course. It wouldn't be the first time. Does it look like we have anything better to do while we quietly wait for the darkness to swallow us? Besides, I'm sure you won't say no to me, Jacob.
So, where are you starting your research from? Priestess does not answer, electing to instead look at the faint dawn light peeking over the horizon. The one next to her does not bother her any further. The two of them simply stand aboard the deck. You look at her and subconsciously tell yourself she's pondering something again. Why did you think that all of a sudden?
What is it, Doctor?
Nothing, just zoned out. I don't think we'll be finding any important clues here.
The information Dr. tsit wants isn't here?
This is most likely a fragment of history from before Originium was born. Based on what I experienced in the assimilated universe, at least.
Doctor, you mean what we're seeing right now is because you,
That's not all, I'm afraid.
Then that huge ship floating in the sky and that giant shattered sphere are also,
I'm not too sure what relation I have with them.
We'll make it clear then. But since you're sure this isn't our main target, we should continue onwards. The Singularity is right in front of us, but the bridge belt is reaching its limit. The information density here is too high. Pressing onwards is like drowning in a deep river. How are we going to find the information we need in all this chaos?
Allow me. Your thoughts come infinitely close to the Singularity, all while the near-physical deluge of information presses down on the two of you. While you yourself seem able to adapt to the pressure, you sense a great strain on Amia. You don't have much time. You pull out every keyword the priestess in the assimilated universe said, and quickly connect together every clue left behind by tsit. Calculate a new result as quickly as you can, then add a new condition. Continue this cycle until you have isolated the information you need. Your thoughts are like diving into an endless ocean of building blocks. What you need to do is not particularly complicated. Find the blocks that are different, their surfaces finely engraved with the words "tsit" left for you.
I never forgot.
I think we did it, Amia.
Where are we?
Rhodes Island. The Rhodes Island of the past.
But this place and our Rhode Island are...
Completely different.
Dr. Tsit once said the ship was excavated in Rimbilliton and had to be repaired before it could be used. Just what exactly has Rhode Island gone through?
I haven't the slightest idea. Somewhere close by, in an unknown language. Looks like you're in good spirits today. I guess our efforts paid off. Were you scared waiting by yourself in the lab? The primitive construct lets out a proud purr. Good timing then. I'm currently trying to put together a model that reduces the loss of meta information during transmission through spatial mediums. Can you try helping me do some calculations? The construct restlessly twitches. Alright, that's enough. I terminated your process. You are to never harm your own core unit, even if an order comes from me or her. Protect yourself, Amaten. Survival is an instinct the living are born with. The construct stubbornly purrs. At least your emotional module is iterating quickly.
Do you understand the language, Doctor?
I don't. Ignore that person and the thing by their side. What we need is somewhere else.
You're right. Since Dr. Tsit believed we would be able to find the key, she must have anticipated the language barrier. Look at the glass next to the person, Doctor. It's got writing written all over it.
Formulas? It's a shame the development of Originium isn't going very smoothly. We're venturing into uncharted territory here. It's hard for others to keep up with us. While I have been engrossed in debate with her more often than not lately, our experimental progress has slowed. The construct vigorously consolates. No need to worry about us. If this model's operational efficiency meets expectations, we might be able to cross the first hurdle on Originium's development. Oh, right. Lou sent us a message. There's been a rare breakthrough in the Karula Arbor, and she'll be able to come and visit us again soon. The construct shows heartfelt joy. Looks like you're very fond of her. Amia, we need to note down those formulas.
I'm trying.
What's happening? Is the bridge's stability under attack?
Theresis warned me about this. It's simulated turn as baseline logic trying to eliminate loopholes. Because we're trying to describe information from outside the boundary. Doctor, I don't understand what the characters in these formulas mean.
Forget about understanding them. We just need to record them down. I'm memorizing them as best as I can too. The information of the boundary begins to reorganize, the loophole is being repaired, and the scene you are witnessing begins to rapidly fade away. I've foreseen it, Amaten. This model she and I developed together will succeed. I look forward to the day that language's creation is truly complete. The construct kindly reminds. The WDB 221E synchronization is still underway? I know that. It's not like I forgot myself, right? The speaker starts to fade away as well, and starts to whisper. No matter where in this vast universe you came from, I bid you to witness the beacons we left behind, remnants of a civilization now gone to eternal rest. Perhaps it will be our blessing and the final gift of hope. You begin to feel like that person is looking right at you. The construct anxiously murmurs.
We will see it come to be, Amaten. I believe it so.
The formulas are beginning to vanish.
Retreat, but we still have the bridge.
But I haven't.
You still have me. We can reconstruct them together. A massive attack strikes your thoughts, and you sense yourself falling. The last act of consciousness you remember is keeping Ami as far as possible from the singularity, and that familiar figure.
Thank you for bringing Amia back here. Now, leave.
It is at this moment that the mental link between you and Amia breaks. Your mind is so exhausted, you do not remember anything that happened afterwards. The two of you leave Civilite Eterna. The information erupting from the singularity does not cease, and among the flow there is an insignificant scene that has never been accessed since the day of its recording. In the quiet of space, a ray of light illuminates a field of stars, bringing with it darkness and a despair beyond doubt. Then sensors tens of thousands of light years away receive the image of this star field from the distant past. The planets that these stars shed their light upon are already filled with graveyards and ruins. It has come.
Do. Did your presence tell you to use these words, Defender?
No, she never asked me to do such a thing when she left.
Then keep your wits around her. Don't let her confuse you. Because if you let down your guard thanks to her charm, she might put you in danger. That's how her people hunt. It's their instinct. As for the person you're looking for, Priestess, the master of the ship, she's doing some important research right now. I'm afraid her consciousness is shuttling back and forth between various research locations in this star field. It'll be very hard for you to have a moment with her if she's not willing. Yeah, are you so desperate to find her because you want to thank the person who rescued you?
Not exactly. I understand that I am in some fantastical place called the Universe, and it's not the afterlife either. I even have a wild guess that my home of Terra might be somewhere out there in this universe. But the more I know, the more questions I have. I want to ask her, why am I not dead? Where exactly is my home, Terra?
The goddess looks out through the porthole at the stars in frustration. Perhaps it is because her bishop and the rest of her fellow churchgoers are still praying for her back in her land, but she has no way to respond. She curls up against the wall, allowing the light of the stars to quickly sweep across her face.
It turns out you can see time passing by with your own eyes.
She has met many people aboard the ship, no matter if they were the respected hooded genius tucked away in the lab, or the wanderer of the universe who had survived ruination. Their optimism and kindness have dispelled her initial fear, but she knows that she will never truly be one of the crew of this miraculous ship. I miss Terra already. So yeah, that is a very interesting cutscene for many reasons. So first off, continuing with the conversation between Priestess and Oracle, nothing too crazy there at the beginning, but the rest of it is crazy. So essentially, Amiya and the Doc are going through a memory, a recorded place in time and space, essentially, where Oracle is talking to a primitive construct, which immediately gets identified as Amaten, aka original Calcit. I want to also point out a very interesting thing about that cutscene is not the purring is cute, and we'll get to that in a moment, but is the fact that Oracle seems to be the one who has done a couple of, and we already knew that, Oracle was kind of like the guiding light for Kal'tsit to become the way she is nowadays, essentially. But Oracle seems to also be the person who has given her some kind of upgrade or module or something that is embedded in her that essentially was responsible for her memory transfer stuff, which probably is what Monster is, right? It seems at least like that could be Monster. At least that's what I understood from that cutscene when Oracle was talking about some kind of thing that they are upgrading her with to give her the capability of keeping her memories upon transference and stuff like that. I was like, okay, that has to be Monster in that case, I guess. Honestly, I think that thought actually crossed my mind later when I was doing the actual proper voiceover instead of when I was reading it for the first time. But yeah, very interesting origin. If it is, it would even more fit into the whole thing, because we do know that Monster so far has been evolving through time with Kal'tsit. I mean, we do have Monster number 2 already mentioned in her modules. We do see kind of like a more primitive version of Monster as well in IS-5 when you fight, Kal'tsit and Monster with a number 2 in the name. That monster looks way less sharp than the version we have now, aka a previous version of Monster before the next evolution stepped in. So I do wonder what is happening there, why Monster is evolving so much again every time she dies. Is he just, she, I should say at this point, is she absorbing like Kal'tsit's biological data every time it happens? I don't know. Something is happening there every time, but I think we just saw the origins of Monster. One other important thing about the cutscene is the whole thing when the primitive construct, aka Kal'tsit, reminds the doc about the crown still being in like a recording process, sort of thing. The doc under their breath utters a couple of words which feel immediately like they're directed at someone. Could be that Oracle was banking on the fact that someone might be watching right now. The construct reminded him of, hey, the crown exists. We are kind of in a desperate thing, but the crown will keep on existing after us, and it will deliver messages to people in the future. So how about I try and give a direct message to whoever might be watching this at some point in time. Weirdly enough, it also feels like Oracle might have been capable of maybe noticing something at that point. The crown is definitely crazy in an aspect. Who knows? Oracle might have noticed something. I do want to point out that even in chapter 14, when Theresia was passing away, when her last shred of consciousness was going about the world of Terra and was visiting the different people and places, one of the people however you want to see it, one of the things she does meet along the journey is the Preserver, aka Trevor Friston, while still trapped underground before the whole story happens in Lone Trail later down the line. But she does meet Trevor Friston, and Friston does notice her presence, kinda. I don't remember the exact scene, how it goes and what he says in that moment, but he did notice Theresia, who was technically still part of the crown at that point, and Originium itself, going on her final goodbye journey, essentially. Yeah, that's interesting to keep in mind. I don't personally, in this cutscene, however, I don't think Oracle noticed the doc or knew that someone was there, like that they were actually addressing someone. I think the scene was just a little nod of a hopeful, putting a hopeful message into the future, as in, please, if someone is watching this, please take the information we leave behind and do something with it, in a sense. At least that's how I'm looking at it. you guys can tell me how you interpret this cutscene. Anyway, we do have one new enemy here, which is the Stable Sarkas Caster Crystal, aka Cheat. Anyway, it says, originating from an archived enemy, the Originium body of the Sarkas casters has induced unknown changes to the arts they use, which may pressure our defenses. So yeah, this will be the clip section, but yeah, just to read the trait, temporarily halts your DP regeneration shortly after it enters the battlefield. So, if you thought already that these specific casters, the normal versions, are already annoying when they, you know, just disable one of your units until they either get killed or you just wait out the bonding, the extra painful bondage that is happening. How about a version that does the same thing but blocks your DP generation? At least your natural DP generation. You can still generate DP with units, but oh boy are they annoying. And that was a surprising thing. I swear, everything so far I'm learning about Priestess, and we'll get to another one in a sec, is literally... I am imagining her, if you would play D&D with Priestess and you roll your D20 die, she would grab the thing in midair and be like, nope, you're not rolling for a minute, you will wait, I will roll for you. Why? Anyway, we continue on to stage 15-9, titled Decompression Syndrome, and it says, I wake to sleep again, and delay my awakening. I touch fate on what I cannot fear. I learn through the journey I must set out on. We do have one new enemy here, and I'm doing it now because the cutscene is after the battle stage. So we have the static Oneros Alpha, originating from an archived enemy. It seems unremarkable, but is able to strike before our operators take action. The mechanism by which it does so is unknown. I will tell you what the mechanism is. It's called cheating. But yeah, essentially the unit blocks one of your units from being able to deploy it for a brief time. Again, cheating. But anyway, we have the cutscene, so let's continue.
Administrator permission found. Preparing reboot process from hibernation. 3, 2, 1. PRTS reboot diagnosis complete. Warning. Unauthorized third-party plugin found. Restore default settings. Administrator key cognition signal verified. Restoring. Vital sign detection module activated. Automatically loading repair module. Repairing. Progress.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor, I'm so relieved. You're finally awake.
Awake? How long have I been out?
Evacuation hasn't been smooth. Our Neuralink was abruptly severed and it's hard to maintain stability due to the information impact at the boundaries.
How are you feeling, Amiya?
I just woke up myself. Don't worry about me. I'm doing much better thanks to Theresis protection. Good thing you never let go of my hand, or I would be even more worried. Don't go off on your own, Doctor. We need to stay in the emergency observation area that Dr. Kaltz set up.
Kaltz? Emergency observation area?
Soon after we began, Dr. Kaltz cleared out an area that she is personally protecting in order to ensure our safety and Rhodes Island's. She didn't want any accidents to happen when we entered Civilite Eterna.
She knew, I didn't see her. I started preparing cognition baseline tests as soon as I confirmed that you're awake. Initial testing showed no obvious signs of damage for either of you. Diagnosing thought isn't quite as simple as diagnosing biological tissue, though. Further analysis will be required. Welcome back, Doctor. You look, tired.
A bit of distraction happened during your operation. I'll update you on the latest developments later.
We found potential useful information.
The first priority is to make sure that you're safe. Establishing a neural link through the Black Crown is extremely risky. I take it you've long crossed the boundary.
Yes.
Then my first duty must be to ensure your cognitive stability and biological health. I won't allow the mistakes of the past to be repeated, nor will I allow the continued existence of any potential threat to your life and safety. Follow me, Dr. Jacob.
Are you angry?
You'll need to do the cognitive baseline test too, Amia. First, though, get some rest.
Alright, Dr. Tsit.
Can't Amia come with me?
That's not part of my plans, Doctor. I'll arrange for Amia to be tested as soon as your tests are complete. Let's go.
This is the testing equipment? I don't remember it at all.
A prototype that the medical department developed. Theresis and I designed it together. But the limitations of our understanding of cognition and perception have prevented it from being put into service as a way to measure cognitive stability. Under current circumstances, however, it's the most effective method available. Go inside the isolation pod, Doctor. Relax, I've tried it myself, and won't cause any significant physical distress.
Anything else I need to know?
No, just follow my instructions. I'll need to calibrate the machine first. Relax and do as I say, but do not hesitate. Tell me your name, Doctor.
Jacob.
A good start. See the chronometer behind me? Count the time in silence and try to synchronize your counting with the ticking of its numbers.
You silently count and feel the passage of time.
It helps reinforce your perception of reality. It's been 20 seconds. Are you feeling any discomfort?
No.
Let's continue the calibration. Are you able to continue to perceive Amia in your consciousness?
No.
Good, we're getting used to the flow. Continuing with the calibration, do you agree with Rhodes Island's ideals?
Yes.
Good, we're almost done with the calibration. Continue. You saw her at the cognitive boundary.
Yes.
As I expected. You're calmer than I thought you would be, though. Final question. Do you have doubts about the one who is like you?
Yes.
A reasonable motion, but I cannot resolve your doubts in any way or capacity. You will find the answer, sooner or later. Maybe you've already formed your subjective opinion. It's not my place to interfere with it, but I trust you will not act contrary to Rhode Island's interests. We're done, Doctor. Cognition baseline testing indicates that your cognitive stability remains within safe values. The rest of it is secondary.
Wait, I thought that was the calibration.
It was necessary to ensure that the data collection is accurate. I trust that you're capable of perceiving my thinking and camouflaging yourself accordingly. It would not be hard for you to fool this prototype.
Is this part of the test too, Tsit?
The remaining checks will be complete soon, Dr. Jacob. I have time to answer a few questions. You understand, of course, that there are certain questions that I am not in position to answer.
What are the origins of Rhode Island?
If you're referring to the ship, it's even older than the history known to me. In a sense, it's the carrier of hope, hence the comprehensive protection systems capable of supporting our every operation on Terra. It is thanks to the initial design that it has survived the most brutal challenges with its core structure intact. We have yet to discover its full potential. However, I remain cautious about trying to unlock this potential in its entirety.
You seem nervous, Tsit. The current uncertainty is not the only reason why you're nervous. I can't describe this strange intuition. I've never sensed such complex emotions from you. I'm not the one getting tested. You see your reflection in the window, almost as though you were still standing with Calcit. You look at your own reflected image, but cannot help recalling the figure at the boundary who treated the construct with such kindness. Your gaze turns towards Calcit. Why are you looking at me like this, Dr. Jacob? Did you also put your utter trust in me? I still do. You've proven yourself. Whatever you saw at the boundary, Dr. Jacob, belongs to a past that is dead and gone. It is enough that you and Rhodes Island are walking on the proper path. You and I, we both have the right to our subjective definition of this relationship that exists between us. You don't need to be concerned about how I view you. Not before, not now, not ever. I respect your understanding of our cooperation. I'm sorry, Calcit. I'm apologizing for my and Amia's reckless actions. I know what to do next. I just have one more question, Calcit. In an unknown language. Perhaps it will be our blessing and the final gift of hope. I don't understand what it means. I seem to sense good intentions behind the words. It means blessing and gift. You guided us to that one. Whoever it was, there is nothing fake about your trust. Then we have a lot of work to do. A regularly shaped originium crystal emerges in the space. A short curved line appears on the corner of the crystal. Line expands into surface, then into a perfectly smooth sphere. It is an eye that observes this dimension. All it does is record all that it sees. The organ that makes decisions has not fully escaped the originium. Until now. The originium entity perceives silently.
Dr. Calcit has determined that there is no major issue with me. But she was concerned about whether I was subject to any shock during the Neuralink.
She must have her concerns. We should get on with analyzing the formulas that you retrieved. Like I said, the abnormalities of PRTS persist. It's very likely that we'll be getting even more anomalies in short order. It hasn't been restored? Closure has been trying, to little avail. Deployment of the backup command system has begun, but it will take time to synchronize it across all equipment and individuals. As for the information you brought back from the boundary, I can help you decipher it.
Do you understand its meaning?
I'll have to see the formulas in their entirety to be sure. You and Ami attempt to reconstruct the words and formulas written upon the glass of the corridor by memory, written in a language that you do not understand. Based on the context, I believe I can fill in the blanks here. Largely accurate, but there are small errors here and there. Let me fix them. It is like putting together a jigsaw puzzle.
Thankfully you were able to remember the last parts that I didn't have time to.
That should do. Do you understand the meaning, Calcit? It's a heretofore unnamed model, the origins of which may be traced to a project by the name of Slumberbridge. It was a radical project that attempted to employ a self-transcoding model in order to combine all possible realities and tangible, organic life into a single meta-reality. The project was ultimately a failure, but the experiments on digitizing matter were the predecessor to various subsequent research, including this model. It has proven to be incredibly efficient at reducing the loss of meta-information during transmission through spatial mediums, and increasing data transmission efficiency. Information? Originium?
Now we're getting to the heart of the matter, Dr. Jacob. Originium is the medium used for information collection. It reformats the information and continues to propagate it until its mission is accomplished. This model, likely the one used by Originium itself, could lead to major breakthroughs in Originium research and ripophy treatment. I will decipher this information for classified archiving. Until its risks and uses are certain, however, it must not appear in any blueprint or storage medium that exists in reality.
Can you get it done as soon as possible?
Do you have something in mind, Doctor?
Do you remember the Originium Arc?
The project that Logos and Mechanist proposed after the war in Victoria?
Boosting the adaptability and combatability of elite operators in high Originium environments with the use of external equipment, a radical idea and a difficult one to achieve. The current version, developed 2 years ago, represents the limit of what we are able to achieve.
Now we've discovered a new possibility.
It's an excellent opportunity. At the very least, it will allow elite operators to deal with the Originium threat with greater ease. I will need your help in the decipherment process, Doctor.
Thanks for the barrier, a lifesaver. Are you sure that Originium circuit has been properly set? I've checked it 3 times, it shouldn't fail.
No semantical deviation. The circuit conforms to the simulations. There should not have been any error.
How about another possibility? It's not we who are wrong?
There are no flaws in the blueprint produced by the Doctor and Dr. Tsit. The incantation simulation is effective.
What I mean is that there's something wrong with the material used in the Originium Arc itself. I seem to remember that Closure kept some good stuff in the warehouse.
Bad idea. We've made enough of a mess in the engineering department as it is.
Well, we're doing it on the orders of Dr. and Dr. Tsit.
But how do we validate its effectiveness?
Assuming that safety is assured, there is one ideal candidate for testing.
Doesn't feel like there's been any real change in strength. How about you go harder, kitten?
It's not entirely up to me. Radian?
According to the status of experiment, I can only increase the synchronization between the Originium Arc and Resmontis in steps. It's not just to protect you, Blaze, it's to protect Resmontis as well. Ha! Of course, I know! I just wanted to test its limits as soon as possible because Dr. Tsit said this was urgent. How about you, kitten?
I can control it. No problem. I'll keep the risks in check. Radian, be ready to override the Originium circuit at any moment and disconnect Resmontis' control.
Nothing keeps one on edge like working with you. How long will it take to finish the preparations, Dr. Tsit?
Assuming that the Doctor and I complete the decipherment as quickly as possible and isolate a functional technical blueprint, 36 hours. It's cutting things too tight. There are numerous key points in this technology that are virtually impossible for us to achieve. The surest way to fail is not to try.
With the Black Crown, I should be able to help. We must explore any avenue to gain an advantage for Rhode Island. Perhaps it will make an impact in the not-so-distant future.
The Countess feels like she has slept for a long time. Her gaze is lost in the stars of deep space, but they offer no guidance as to where home is. She refuses to give up until she falls asleep from exhaustion. Then the light rouses her, and she opens her eyes. There is no one around her.
You are lost.
It has been a long time since this place has seen a new visitor. Or are you the last survivor of the ruined planet?
The voice of Rhodes' daughter? But why?
In any case, welcome. Come, sink me.
She remembers this scene. She could have died after disintegrating, but light rushed into her eyes. She came to this place, the domain of the gods. It all happened again.
How could this be?
She looks out of the porthole in terror and sees the dead planet. Roaming through the ship, she encounters that being by the name of Rhodes' daughter once again, and the presence that gazes upon death, alone in deep space. Every trace that she was ever here has disappeared.
No. Am I still dreaming? This is not a dream. But it's not reality either. You were looking for me, weren't you?
The goddess sees a hand reach towards her and take hers, like the hand that held hers when she disintegrated. She saw God. Alright, and another very interesting cutscene. I like the whole bit of Tsit basically doing a linchpin equivalent with the doc after they woke up. Both they and Amiya woke up from their slumber. Very, very funny indeed. A couple of very interesting scenes. Now, I'm not going to be including here any kind of footage of the conversation, how it goes, if you answered this or that. This has a lot of permutations, so unlike the previous stuff that I included. So it's one of those things, this is up to how you want to do it, how you want to see it. If you want to see the other options, what happens when you select other conversations, just do it. It's really, I tried to do some stuff, but it would be a lot of extra footage in here, so and it doesn't really change much about the whole thing. I will, however, address one specific thing about the cutscene, and that is one specific answer that you can give, one specific yes or no answer that you can give, which stems from Tsit asking if the doc is cautious of priestess, essentially, of the person who is of the same kind of them. I answered as part of the cutscene with yes, and that is my honest opinion as a player as well, yes. But as in the narrative perspective, I do believe the story is also trying to teach us that the doc is kinda keeping her not really on a distance, but more like under a watchful eye themselves. A lot of the flashback stuff, even the one scene before that, that we already had today, where the narration text was literally, "Why did you think that?" Immediately just symbolizes that even deep down, even with lost memories, the Doctor still has some kind of muscle memory of being cautious around this person for whatever reason, which is a very interesting perspective to keep in mind. At least that's how I'm interpreting the whole thing, because I think it's very much a sign of the story that is telling us, be cautious of this person. There might be something wrong with them, or they might do something that is irreversible, so keep them under a watchful eye. I mean, it also shows the actions that the Doctor has been, Oracle has been doing in the past as well, with involving themselves in the Originium project, involving themselves with Tsit even more. I mean, Oracle has always left me with the impression as being pro-life, as in, don't destroy the life that exists in the moment, just because you have a better idea as how life should be treated, but life should be left to prosper and grow and progress and evolve. But at the same time, we also see how, despite the fact that, again, Tsit was given to the doc, if I remember correctly, was given to the doc by Priestess, as I think that was discussed in chapter 14 in that one brief moment. But also very importantly, the doc seems to be very very infatuated with primitive version of Kaltzit, to the point of giving her multiple options to live and survive, not harm herself as well, or people that are important to her and stuff, giving her sound advice to how to live life essentially and experience everything around herself. You know, you get quite a lot of flags risen for Oracle that they were kind of cautious of baristas quite a lot. Which is a very interesting concept to see and keep in mind, I would say, when going forward with the story in general. But yeah, that was a very, very interesting slew of cutscenes, and also this cutscene shows us that yes, Doc definitely understood what was being said back then by Oracle, by their old self, in the memory that they were experiencing together with Amia, which is quite. Again, it's such a quite funny thought to have at that moment, because you do have to think about the fact that the moment Amia was trying to be inquisitive and observe Oracle a bit more and the primitive construct, Doc immediately understood what was happening. Was like, no, Amia, we have better business. Go that way. Don't look, don't think about it. Which I will say, the Doc, having seen primitive version of Kaltzit and doing all the purring and cutesy, animalistic, whatever shit she was doing, I am sad that it didn't show a model. Because, oh my god. Imagine yourself being in the shoes of Doc and knowing this information, this thing of knowledge that should be probably like an embarrassing past for Kaltzit. And having this knowledge of, I have seen you as a baby. I know how you acted. Oh, she would dismember Doc if they would say anything. I would say something. I'll probably be dead at this point. Anyway, that was quite funny, and yeah, revealing again that yes, the Doc does understand the language, but was just asking Kaltzit for confirmation about what these specific words have meant. So yeah, very interesting shit. But anyway, we move on to the next stage, which is a pure battle stage, and our first more difficult stage at that as well. Plus, this is where the background changes to Rhode Island on top and the red background on the bottom. This stage is titled Dissociated Space, and it says, Experience, Theory, Phenomena. We do not have any new enemies here, so we will move on to the next stage, 15-11, titled Wake from a Long Dream. Henceforth, all will be me, and no one will be me. I will be you, and you will not know it. Your dream shall be my awakening. Friston does not understand why his daughter chose this as their meeting place. This is no vacation spot. Too much sand in one's shoes. I should take a break. He sits on a dune and removes his shoes, only for the wind to send the sand he pours out into his face. This is most undignified. Why am I in full dress? Why did she ask me to come here? There is no answer on the radio. He wanders aimlessly on the yellow sands, calling his daughter's name. No one answers until night has fallen. A party? He follows the sound to find a camp on the dunes in the distance, filled with lights and ribbons. He hears his daughter's familiar laughter. He runs towards her in joy. You made it to my wedding, Dad! Friston almost cries at the sight of the golden hair. I've been looking for you for so long, my sunshine. Oh, is this your wedding? Of course, the ceremony is about to start. Let's go. We'll walk the red carpet arm in arm.
Give me your blessings, Dad.
Kristen tries to take her arm, but he cannot reach it.
Will you not give me your blessing?
No, no, that's not what I meant.
Will you not give me your blessing?
Sunshine? You did not want us to see the truth of the stars? You're not my sunshine. Have I left home? I remember this bunker. The preservation room.
You will not answer any more of my questions?
Kirsten. You're... Kirsten, I've heard of you. No, I've seen you. No. How did I know you? I've never known you. Who the devil turned on the light? Damn it! Why have you imprisoned me here? Closure? Is this another one of your damn jokes? Kristen realizes that he is buried in the photos that fill the room. A volume of A Complete Bestiary of Terra covers his camera module. Are they even photos? He has never visited the places in them, nor could he ever. There are only fragmented images on the countless photos. Sand dune, bonfire, camp, golden hair, and the preservation room where the sun does not shine. A dream? Huh. Kristen dreamt. Kristen 3 dreamt. He printed his own dream. It should not be possible for me to dream. Did Closure upload a new firmware without telling me?
I don't have time to argue with you right now, Mr. Friston. I guarantee you in the strongest possible terms that I have not uploaded any firmware that could have caused you to dream. The PRTS anomalies are getting out of control. It will take time to deploy the backup command system. All the work has to be assigned manually. I wish I had 6 or 7 pairs of eyes. We've completely lost contact with some areas and we have no idea what's going on.
Relax, Closure. I'm not trying to argue with you. I just want to make sure that all possibilities for my unusual malfunctions are accounted for. We've eliminated firmware bugs and hardware malfunctions as possibilities. Then
What is it?
Answer me, Closure. This is important. What is the energy source that powers my core?
Huh? Originium, of course.
Are the majority of your retrofitted operation platforms Originium powered?
Your tone is starting to scare me, Mr. Friston. What are you trying to say?
You're a genius, Closure.
Huh?
Excellent thinking, cutting off the link between the retrofitted operation platforms and PRTS. But that's not enough. Not by a long shot.
Huh? What's going on? Why are things shaking?
Popcar was awakened by the continuous flashing. She looks out of the porthole, but sees nothing unusual outside.
Looks like a nice day. No sign of rain. Maybe somebody was training noisily outside? PRTS comms are still down. Looks like today's assignment is in the isolation zone outside the ship. I should report to Orchid. Morning. Hey, where did everybody go? It's so quiet. Where is Orchid? I can't reach her. I should check the cafeteria. The cafeteria's this way.
Popcar's sleepy eyes are only half open, but she could find her way from the deck to the cafeteria even if they were completely shut. That is how well she knows Rhode Island.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Ow, 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 that hurts!
She's stripped by a toolbox from the engineering department left in the corridor.
I thought engineering was done with working in this area. So careless.
She kneels down to rub her knee, which doesn't hurt so much anymore, then puts the scattered tools and boxes away to the sides of the corridor.
That light again? What?
Popcar stands up and looks to the porthole next to her. She sees many strange people.
Who are they? New visitors? The other side of the porthole is supposed to be the deck. Are these people lost?
She walks briskly through the corridor but begins to slow down as she becomes increasingly confused.
Why do I see them on every porthole? Orchid, this is Popcar. Seems like communications are still down. I don't know if I'm getting through to you. Are you seeing anything weird?
There is no response from the communicator. Faint voices can be heard from outside the porthole in an unknown language.
Then true destruction, and me, flawless. It will end.
Are they talking? I can't hear. The mission comes first. Maybe Orchid is already waiting for me in the isolation zone outside. Left turn here. Go straight and push the door open. Then the exit passage. Let me get to the ground first. Huh? I think I'm here.
Popcar turns around to look at the exit passage that she came out of, only to find that it has disappeared.
Huh?
Popcar, we were looking for you. Everyone else is here. Is something wrong?
Orchid, is the exit passage here?
What exit passage?
All operators receiving this message. Do not trust. Communications blocked. Rhode Island. Awake. Repeat. Warning.
Closure?
A BP advances hesitantly. And the pained BP is assuming a hostile posture. I'm sorry, little fella, but I can't let you hurt anyone else. It spins angrily. Why did you attack us? I'm not sure what's going on, but something must be wrong with this ship. You went missing for a while, and this is what became of you when you came back. Besides, the structure of the ship seems to be changing. I could hardly find my way. Such a strange feeling. It's like the ship is... like it's alive. Are we being attacked?
Impossible. We had set up an isolation zone around Rhode Island. We should have gotten a warning if any enemies had approached.
Unless the enemy was from within.
I'm not sure. We're in the command center, but we're not getting any information about what's going on anywhere on the ship. No response from Dr. Calcit or any of the elite operators to our messages either.
I'll go find them. Let's get everyone together, then we can think about how to deal with this.
Okay, I'll protect you.
The Originium entity approaches silently.
What is...
Is the backup power online yet?
The junction box broke. Try cutting off that damaged circuit. Maybe short circuit protection is still kicking in. Watch your feet.
I can see.
We're in luck.
The Originium crystals all appeared in an instant. Still no word from anyone else?
Comms are still jammed. Even the emergency frequencies are out.
I have even worse news. For some reason, Rhode Island is currently headed northwest at maximum speed. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before we collide with a mobile mining platform.
We must eliminate all possible dangers along the course, protect the ship from the outside, and prevent collateral damage. Let's get out of here and check our vehicle inventory in the bad guy's cabin. Space around here has been transformed. The existing maps are no longer reliable. Stay close to me.
Storm Eye suddenly comes to a sudden stop.
Is something wrong?
They're coming again.
Hardly had he finished when an arrow whooshed through the air. Missed? There is no answer. Storm Eye? Sharp turns around to see that the door to the restaurant has turned into a metal wall crawling with Originium. But it is not Storm Eye standing behind him. The Originium entities approach soundlessly.
Is that it? Communications are still out. I wonder how the others are doing.
Biff gazes at the communicator silently with a furrowed brow. The footsteps disappear into the distance. But the fallen Originium entities rise again, moving in perfect unison, striding over the damaged communicator on the ground.
All operators receiving this message. Do not trust. Communications blocked. Rhodes Island. Awake.
Awake.
Watch the sides. Very strange. These things won't die.
Ascalon points her sleeve blade towards a wavering shadow not far away. Silhouettes manifest from the shadows like ghosts, every step accompanied by the sound of crystal cracking. The clothes they wear. Reunion? And Nocturnes too. Nothing can surprise me now.
Their bodies are composed entirely of Originium. We cannot rely on past experience.
Guess we'll have to improvise.
We can't just stay here. We have to find where these things came from.
The intention of these enemies is unclear, as is the situation on the doctor's side. If,
Ami is with the doctor. No need to worry. We continue with our mission, ascertaining the source of the abnormal events. If this is what Katsit was guarding against, then these things must follow the command of some unknown actor.
Communications are still out. We can't reach anyone else. I wonder if the other elite operators... Ascalon? As they pass by the Originium crystals, Misery catches a glimpse of a fleeting image in the multifaceted reflections of the crystals. Did I just see... Outcast? Clack, clack. A sharp claw separates itself from the surface of the Originium crystal, then curled horns, rugged silhouette, and spiked tail. This creature is not unfamiliar to Rhode Island's battle records, but never has it been composed solely of Originium. As the never-before-seen form of life takes its first step, an arrow impales its throat and shatters its skull.
Safe. For now.
Stormile leans against the wall and pauses to catch his breath, before tending to his wounds.
At least it won't hinder me in battle.
Static on the communicator.
Sharp, come in Sharp. Can you hear me? If you hear me, leave a sign anywhere, any way you can. I'll come and find you.
More static.
Damn it.
Store by. Careful.
Sharp? What's your location?
Engaging Lightsmith. Stop.
Wait for me.
The Originium-infested machines speak.
Says
More rampaging machines rush into the corridor, the light in their eyes flashing in sync. Their simple voice units repeat a call for help, defying the limitations of their design.
Not now.
Stormize's arrow pierces the cores of two of the machines with unerring accuracy. Then he makes a run for it, not pausing to look back.
At least 30. A fork.
Two virtually identical corridors extend as far as Stormize's eye could see. The pathways within Rhode Island are undergoing constant haphazard changes. No one knows to which fates the divergent corridors lead. The rampaging machines are catching up. Faster than expected. Rhode Island is not ready. If there is such a thing as being ready for her. Monster lets out an alerted growl. However, something is clearly not right with her as well. She would not resort to such inefficient means otherwise. This may be our last chance to gain the upper hand. The Originium entities approach silently. Clear our way, monster. Don't get stuck in a fight. Time is of the essence. The passage before tsit changes again, in an attempt to lead her astray. But the warping of space does not affect tsit. She can still sense her target, the sarcophagus of Dr. Jacob. The information is etched into the bottommost layer of her memory. Monster, eliminate all threats that approach the sarcophagus. Buy me time. Once again, she stands before the familiar sarcophagus. Once she awoke the hope that slumbered within, only to find pain that could not be easily wiped away. Now it is their last hope. I can't guarantee that this is going to work, monster. But I won't just sit around and watch a fighting chance slip away. tsit walks towards the sarcophagus and places a white flower on top of it. This is her legacy. Little did she know at the time that it was fire stolen from the gods. We must all challenge those higher beings and fight for a chance to live. The monster nervously growls. If something goes wrong, monster, act on your own discretion. She enters the sarcophagus.
The interference is really bad. Not only am I not getting any signals, my Originium arts are also being suppressed by the environment. Think.
Radian.
This signal profile. PRTS. Closure. But the terminal still shows disconnected.
Track me.
Radiant tracks the faint signal to an unexpected source.
Dr. tsit? How? But you're... No matter how you did it, you need to... No, you can't stop now. Thank you, Dr. tsit. I know what to do now.
This is Radiant speaking. With assistance, I have been able to establish a temporary electromagnetic communications environment. Info provided by Dr. tsit indicates that the abnormal events currently occurring on Rhode Island originated from the core area known as the Abyss. You are now receiving a briefing about the Abyss. All elite operators are asked to locate the Abyss while making every effort to ensure your own safety. I repeat, locate the Abyss, but do not approach without permission. Maintain constant communication at all times. Do your duty, elite operators. Dr. Tsit will be your eyes.
Tsit? Thanks. This is Piff calling to all combat effective operators. Report.
We're still trying to stop these, things, but they just keep coming.
We lack the means to completely neutralize these hostile Originium entities. Survival is your first priority. Any injured personnel are to immediately disengage and seek assistance from touch. Tsit, what have you done this time? Dr. Warfarin, look out! These things can't hurt me for now, but there are too many of them. It's not easy trying to protect everyone. Radiance intel indicates that these things can't be killed. Kill? Are these things even alive? Have Dr. Touched and Dr. Tsit run into these monsters too? Protect yourself. We're not as weak as you think. What I wouldn't do for a chance to take you apart piece by piece, to find out for sure whether your monsters can die. Get clear, Chloe!
The Originium entities continue to rush towards Warfarin to successfully penetrate her defenses. They raise their hands towards Chloe, then stop. Their motion is not one of aggression, more like an invitation to the patient in front of them, one who is so close to death's door. The Originium entity gazes silently.
Get back! Don't touch them! But I can hear him screaming. It's like those pained voices are etched into my mind. We're very alike.
Chloe takes the hand of the Originium entity. Her eyes are filled with sorrow.
Why don't you hurt me? Are we the same? Is it because of your infection? The symptoms we've never seen before. Originium is changing. That's why your condition progressed quicker than expected. Does this mean I can help you find a way to deal with them? I want to try. I want to help you. I don't want to disappoint you, or let Dr. Touch or Dr. Tsit get hurt.
Warfarin repels the Originium entity in front of Chloe and stands before her patient in a defensive posture.
Do you understand what it is you're offering? I don't, but I'm not afraid.
Not as fast as you say, Stormy.
I got sidetracked by the changes to the deck plan. Luckily, Dr. Tsit and Radian were able to re-establish communications. Who knows what else I would have run into. You mentioned Whitesmith over the radio?
One instant she was inviting me to drink and dance in front of the fire. The next instant she was gone, leaving only a bunch of Originium polluted machines crawling out of the furnace to attack me.
A hallucination?
I can tell what's real and what's not, Stormy. But what's happening here is beyond anything I can comprehend. Not that I'm the only one who is seeing strange things. Originium formations are growing at a visible pace. They thought they knew Originium well enough, but now the facets of the crystals threaten to draw their very minds in.
Huh?
Stormy narrows his eyes. He sees Sharp's mouth moving, but his ears hear nothing. All is quiet. Soon he cannot even hear his own heartbeat. The expression he sees on Sharp's face changes. The next instant, all sound disappears from Rhode Island, leaving only dead silence in the communications channel that Radian established. Don't fall behind, Stormeye! He sees familiar figures, men who were once brothers to him. He has been reunited with the brothers from his wandering days, but they died long ago. That beer we looted is gonna get warm if you don't drink it quick. What are you so worried about? Soundless words from Stormeye. Yeah, the rocks have gotten to my throat, but I can still drink. Haven't gotten my tongue yet. You really want to go with those people? Suit yourself. Won't shed any tears for you if you die on that Rhode Island. But, sit a while longer by the fire before you go. The moons are almost up. Don't you want to see them? He had yearned for a peaceful parting with his brothers, but right now, all Stormeye feels is anger. At the same time, on the other side of Rhode Island. Where are you going? You've already found me, Ascalon. There is no need to go any further. Only a timely push by Misery saved Ascalon from the flying Originium shrapnel. We haven't settled our bet yet, Misery. Don't get distracted. Look, I still have 4 rounds left in my gun. Originium is growing rampant, and the appearances of the mysterious Originium enemies are ever more frequent, accompanied by illusions that they cannot help but be distracted by. The very place itself is trying to drive them out. Ascalon wants to reach Radian to tell her that the Abyss has been located. But the Originium drowns out all sound. The deathly silence is a mystery, a tomb made of lead, threatening to drag Rhode Island into an abyss from which there is no escape. This is Mantra. I've spoken to Dr. Tsit. I will not suffer this mockery of memory and motion. Every operator on Rhode Island hears Mantra's voice in their head. It is her Originium arts, the power and fury of which all of them can sense. If it tries to stop us with silence, then I will be the voice that connects us. Now I return your voices to you.
It's Mantra! She's sharing the information that the others have collected. Ascalon and Misery are close to the Abyss. They've sent over the Abyss's signal profile to Radian, who will be able to trace it even if the spatial environment changes again. They're currently holding position, helping Radian establish an information anchor based on their own biosignals.
It's too dangerous. They need reinforcements.
Blaze and Rosmontis are on their way. It won't take long. I'm worried about Dr. Tsit too, Doctor. Radian's information indicates that Dr. Tsit is in a dangerous predicament.
Regroup at Ascalon and Misery's position. Then we'll work together to find a way through the Abyss. We won't make Tsit wait too long.
Yeah. We're able to maintain communications thanks to Radian and Mantra's arts, but this puts a lot of stress on both of them. Time is of the essence, Doctor. Let's go.
You carefully lead Amia through a forest of Originium shards. Your ability to precisely predict when and where explosions will occur is a major advantage. Focused on the path ahead, you fail to notice a little detail on the massive crystal formation that you just passed. It is not your figures that are reflected in the smooth surface of the Originium crystal. A Kautos girl with her back to you, her thin, fragile hand held by another, just like you and Amia, right now.
You found me. You have many questions. I will wait for you. Don't worry about PRTS. It's simply carrying out the duty that we conferred on it. I never permitted it to harm you.
So yeah. The spooky stuff is happening here from this stage onward, and oh boy, one day, and again you will hear me rant about that in the clip section, one day I will learn my my lesson with this chapter, that I should keep on recording beyond the normal limits that I usually do when I'm reading through something for the first time. Because just as a little background info, the way I'm recording anything essentially, especially on a first read through, I start when a cutscene starts, and when the load screen happens, I literally just stop recording during the load screen for those 3-4 seconds it's there. And at one point I will learn my lesson and I will properly capture stuff that is happening on the screen. Hopefully. But yeah, anyway, the spooky stuff is happening. PRTS is definitely, well, not just PRTS, but someone is waking up, finally it seems, and stuff is getting crazier. Rhode Island is getting spikier. Actually, the best way to see that is not just here, but here in the menu you can already see the originium growing out of it, which is very scary to look at indeed. But yeah, crazy shit is happening on board of Rhode Island. More Popcar in the main story! Is Popcar gonna remove her eye patch and eye beam Priestess out of existence by the end of the chapter? As a quick reminder for people who don't know this, apparently the eye patch on Popcar's eye is actually preventing her eye from doing some crazy shit. So, why are we including Popcar so much into this story? Is she gonna do something beyond just being there? She even got a story CG, which was crazy. But yeah, reality and a simulated universe are definitely overlapping, and it shows. It shows, and all our elite operators are doing their thing in Rhode Island right now. Plus, they're also being... Apparently they're trying to enhance people as well, the elite operators, with a project that Logos suggested at one point, and we'll see what that gets us. But we do have, I believe there is there is two new enemies here. We have the prototype auto meal distributor. Prototype of a cafeteria meal distributor. A busy operator had the bright idea to attach a maintenance helper to it to save the effort of walking from the dorms to the cafeteria, but the design was overzealous and caused even more trouble. Idiots. And we have the Code Basis Alpha. Unknown entity born in the abyss. It is passive if not attacked, but appears to be studying our movements. Yeah, those are definitely enemies. Those are definitely interesting enemies transforming into others. But we have one more cutscene for today, which is the beginning of 1512. And this one is titled Bear Witness, the Death of the Gods. An instant later, the constituent matter will still exist, but the intrinsic nature of truth shall die, drowned in the madness of darkness. Countless civilizations have vanished, and the ripples they leave behind continue to fall, crushing, burying, and destroying everything. One final thing I do want to point out here is, in the top right corner here, the next portion of the poem here is now present, so that shifted. And I presume, if you're going by this by this logic, the next two are gonna be signaling the shift in the background again, but we'll see about that in the future. First off, let's continue with the cutscene.
We peruse and interpret the past and future of our civilization as a monk seeks a revelation from his god. Humans enjoy talking about the possible futures for their civilization, do they not? At first we flaunted what little vestige of truth we managed to grasp and attempted to converse with the gods. We were answered with silence. Then we began to observe the fates of our own kind. Some were less advanced than us, some slightly more so. In the end, what we learned was that death was the inevitable end of all the creations of nature. And so humanity inferred that this was the revelation the gods never spoke. In an instant, we thought we had grasped the truth of the universe. We carefully monopolized the revelation gained through sacrifice and preached the inevitability of doom with so-called optimism. Death is the inevitable end of all the creations of nature. All we can do is to leave behind the truth before our doom. You've lived on that ship for some time, and come to know some of the adorable life forms. Do you agree with this assessment? You don't agree with the presence? I respect them. They were great people, but most of them were simply fools slightly smarter than the others. Why are you asking me this? And why have you brought me here? We were in that corridor just a moment ago. Here or there, it makes no difference. You have too many questions that this place can answer. What is this place? The graveyard of civilization's memory.
Towering statues made of unknown materials stand upon the vast expanse. Ripples spread outward in every direction, up towards the sky beyond the dark clouds, and down towards the grey-white ground.
Out in the vastness of the universe, civilization was born, like a drop of water falling into the ocean, leaving ripples in its wake. They cross paths, love, hate, and eventually die. The ripples of dead civilizations are forever etched upon this tombstone, even after the bright stars of the forebears who inspired so many that came after them are long gone. They still leave behind an incomparable impact on the universe. It is the ripples they left behind that form this land upon which we stand. Their legacy fosters new civilizations, which in turn leave their own traces upon the universe. But it seems broken, like a tree trunk snapped in half. You're not the first to describe it that way. Once, someone very important to me said the same. An absolute, ultimate presence tirelessly reaps the branches that sprout from this poor trunk, yet we know nothing about it. What you've shown me is like a miracle. You saved me from disintegration. God. God? I'm just a humble linguist attempting to explain the universe. My name is Priestess. And, strictly speaking, I did not save you. Your death has already occurred. I did not intervene in the process of matter being converted to information. But material destruction is not true death. Information is not so easily erased, and your information was stored in Originium. But I can think. I felt I was living when I was on the ship. All this vivid. A stream of data repeated over and over. I intentionally left behind fragments of history in order to observe our past lives. So this is like a dream? Dream is vague and subjective. Do not allow language to lead you to meaningless self-doubt before you have touched its fundamental nature. You may understand this as a snapshot from the past that I have recorded in the form of information. But it's nothing more than a still frame. There is no future for it. Then, why am I here? I saw you at the instant of your death. Someone disturbed me. It was a coincidence, a whim of probability. So, I'm not special. Oh, But you are, Hierda. You and those like you are very special. Originium has shaped you into what you are. You have interacted with Originium in wondrous ways. Your history and your civilization all exist because of Originium. But Originium has also brought so much pain. Yes, it was a mistake. Your existence was not part of the plan. What? Do you mean that the people on Terra shouldn't exist? No, you misunderstand. Your civilization was born of probability, just like you, standing here, right now. It exists in time, an objective basis. Born of probability and lost to probability. It is the most basic rule of the universe.
The Countess needs time to digest it all. Originium brought destruction to her, but also consolation and infinite knowledge in this frozen time. She feels lonely, but no pain. If there is one thing right now that could cause pain, it would be...
Terra. My home. It was not blessed by God.
She turns around to look behind her. The land stretches as far as the eye can see, rippling like mountains extending infinitely. She cannot see the end, nor any trace of Terra. But she knows that the land is just within reach, if she only stretched out her hand.
Terra. Is it doomed?
The god looks up at the megastructure and does not answer.
Father Bishop, does that future you're always talking about really exist? Doctor, be careful! Originium activity in this area far exceeds Dr. Katz's estimations. Originium crystals are growing at a breakneck pace. Plus those strange enemies that keep appearing.
Yet your attention is drawn to the Originium in front of you. Every shard, every facet, reflects the same scene in your eyes. I see... her silhouette appears on every facet. There's someone next to her?
I'm curious about you, Hierda. From here I can observe everything of your world. You are the second being from this civilization to interact with me. Do you still love your so-called great land? I think so, yes. Even if the pain that it brings you is real and inexorable? Yes. Is this what concerns you? I'm not sure what you mean. Only praise for life and the indomitable will. Death has not overcome you. You came to me in search of an answer regarding the future. We stand now before that answer. One that cannot be described by language. What is it? Remember that absolute ultimate presence I mentioned? It was once thought to be light from a distant star.
The goddess looks up almost instinctively. Dark clouds cover the sky, blanketing the plain in darkness. Then a faint light breaks through a crack in the clouds. Looking upon the light, masses of people cheer and exclaim. The goddess feels as though she were among those masses.
I'm witnessing history.
Then the ray of light bursts into a rainbow spectrum, as though the universe were painting upon a black canvas.
In their last moments, the pious souls continue to pray for the mysterious blessing of the universe. The people of reason, the scientists, they boarded their flying machines and flew into the light, hoping to touch the truth up close. There's no movement? Why isn't anything happening now that they've gone into the light? The idealists, the conservatives, denounced the enemy for invading the space that had belonged to them from their first moment of sentience. They brashly directed their most dangerous weapons towards the prismatic sky.
The gentle light accepted all, neither exploding nor fighting back. The light followed its determined path, ignoring the agitated souls beneath, though chaos and death had already begun to spread amongst them.
What's happening? Do you want to go into the light?
Dikotos feels her vision climb upwards, over the agitated crowd, over the burning mountains, over the dark clouds. She can almost reach out and touch the rainbow light. Weapons powerful enough to destroy an entire planet fly past her into the light without a sound. Ships that can sail the stars fall powerlessly to the ground.
They resisted. They prayed. They tried to sway the cold light with all things bright and beautiful that they had created over millennia. But the light was unwavering, cold like deep space. The light passed over the planet and left. All was silent.
Dikotos finds herself gazing into deep space, at the broken remains of the celestial body. It is like the sights that the Presence was gazing at, that she was curious about when she gazed upon the Presence.
It's, all gone. Why?
From whence did the doom come? Why did it come? Did it leave? Where did it go? What happened to all the lives? Then she sees it. Only broken remains are left upon the ruined surface of the planet. When the light of the star once again shines upon it, the planetary fragments break through the bonds of gravity and scatter to infinite space.
It was once a flourishing civilization that marked those fragments. No one could be ever prepared for it. Even the wisest, most knowledgeable sages of this civilization had hoped for some premonition, some warning before the coming of the doom. Unfortunately,
Dikotos witnessed the death of the gods, the powerlessness of the gods. For a moment, she even forgot how to fear.
Is this the history that you experienced? No, it's simply one of the countless fragments that we captured. This single glimpse could hardly compare to what I experienced for myself. The answer that you seek is not yet complete. Listen to the sounds that emerge from the ruins. The rocks that come from deep space. Comets. Sometimes they are the bringers of the seed of life. Other times they do little more than fill the silence of a dead planet. Where do they come from? Anywhere. Perhaps even another destroyed planet. The marks of a lost civilization still etched upon it.
The gravity of the dead planet begins to draw in guests from deep space, and it begins to be made whole again.
Those ships floating in deep space. Explorers, seekers, colonizers, perhaps even plunderers, coming from far away. They too accelerated the evolution of civilization. Do you mean that's what happened to Terra? Your greed has gotten the better of your fear. What you learn cannot be unlearned, Hierda. Having glimpsed a vestige of truth, are you willing to go back into the darkness of ignorance?
Dikotos continues to stand before the imposing gravestone. She touches the ripples upon it and trembles.
Every mark is the end of a civilization. Only now do I truly feel. Can I stay here and learn? You have shown me the key to the answer. I have to comprehend all of this knowledge on my own. Even though this is only a fragment of time, frozen forever. Yes. You're very much like us. You may roam this place and anywhere on Rhodes Island freely to seek the answer that you crave. As for whether you want to stay here or go back to the Terra that you loved so much, I will respect whatever choice you make. We will meet again soon. You're leaving? Where are you going? Someone has been waiting for me. For far too long.
Unauthorized third-party plugin deleted. Default settings restored. Expired administrator access detected. Intercepting. Repair module self-diagnosis in progress. Progress.
I've received your inquiry closure. PRTS is denying all access requests. We've lost administrator permissions and we do not have the ability to retake PRTS.
Tsit? Finally an answer! Where are you? The Doctor and Ami are coming over to help. Bad news. PRTS is taking over all equipment on the ship, including the engines.
I know. I'm fighting for Rhodes Island's last chance. Closure? Warn the Dr. Anamia. She's waking up.
So, she is definitely waking up. I mean, we could already tell. But yeah, this was a very important cutscene for many reasons. Number one, and this one is a bit of a jokish thing I want to say very quickly. If anybody ever wants to complain again about Tsit being a yapper, about Tsit talking a lot, I think I said this in the past as well already. Tsit was made by this priestess, by this person. She was made by her. This is a linguist. She is a yapper. She studies yapping of any kind. Why are you questioning why Tsit is yapping all the time? Blame priestess! Blame her! But yeah. Anyway, she did say a couple of very interesting things, or showed a couple of very interesting things, but before that, I also want to say very quickly, poor Hierda, man, Jesus! Not only being told, yeah, you died, and you're nothing but a memory construct at this point, recreated essentially in data space, but on top of it, getting to finally see a glimpse of what, or hear what this thing is that is destroying everything and is threatening all life essentially. What everybody is so afraid of and is running away from. And it's light? It's a prismatic light apparently that is just cruising apparently through the universe in general, and it's leaving dead planets in its wake. And there is no malice, no nothing from it. It's just like it's just passing through and killing everything that it touches. Very interesting. I wonder what it is. I wonder what it could be. I do have a couple of theories, unless the story is gonna go into anything that I could share, but the current two leading theories would be a natural phenomena that is literally just there to go in an organic way through the galaxy and keep everything in balance, essentially, because we do learn from this whole thing that, I mean, obviously, like, even after a forest fire, the forest and biological life will grow again from the ashes, of course. Albeit slowly, it will grow back. The old charcoal will be nourishment for the new. But in the same sense here on a universal scale, this light seems to be just passing through planets, killing them, and then if there was any biological life left on the planet, when the planet shatters away, the pieces and comets and meteors that are left from the planet get flung about the universe itself, could potentially be seeds for new life on different planets. Again, a very realistic scenario, because that's technically from all studies that I'm aware of how life is supposedly started on planet Earth. It came through an outside object that crashed into the planet when the oceans and everything were forming, and life started, in a sense. At least I think that's the leading theory about that. It didn't just pop out of nowhere when you go by scientific measures. Yeah, very interesting concept if that is the case. The other concept could also be a creation by some other entity that was maybe potentially the first intelligence of the universe at large, and maybe it just created something to keep the other sentient beings in check before they can go, I don't know, beyond the limit that should not be passed. Could be as well. I mean, Priestess didn't really specify if the light is specifically going after every single world it's coming across, or if it's specifically going after worlds and solar systems in general where there is sentient life. Like if it's specifically targeting sentient life, or if it's just going like on a giant sweep through the universe, like a Roomba. Like a giant shining prismatic light Roomba. Just doing a cleanup job. But yeah, interesting to finally know what it is. I wonder why they keep using the name Observers then, or where that name came from. I don't know. This might be also something completely different. Could also be a completely different threat that even observers are being shed on by. Who knows? But we'll see. There's probably gonna be actually, I don't know if there's gonna be more in this chapter. I think this was like the big bombshell of this whole thing, but we'll see how this continues. Also, I hope everybody enjoyed the visual of, hey, is this X Astris? Is this the thing from X Astris? And then the scene shifts and you're like, oh, wait, this is a bit bigger than I remember it be. As a bit of an extra sidestep, in X Astris, the other Hypergriff game that came out like last year, essentially at the beginning of the year, that was mobile only. I'm still baffled by the fact that that game was mobile only and never got ported over to actual, PC or even console. I still don't know why they didn't never consider that, or that could have earned them a lot of money, but who am I to comment on it? But anyway, hopefully they'll do that at some point. But yeah, very interestingly, this same obelisk-shaped thing with the ripples and everything was something that was in X Astris, and one of its main characters does interact with the thing. However, that thing in X Astris was way smaller. And by way smaller, I mean it was just barely bigger than a human being. This thing is like the size of its own planet. What the hell? But yeah, very interesting concept once again. This thing also, while this version that we saw here in the story is just a simulated version of, like a copy of the original thing, as it exists somewhere out there. But very interestingly, this thing seems to be doing the same thing that the crown is doing. It's kind of keeping track of all sentient life through the universe, and whenever one sentient life disappears from the universal map, its passing gets engraved into the monolith. Very interesting. I wonder what the other significance is behind that, outside of just being like a giant tombstone, essentially, with bonus information about all of these passed on civilizations. Very interesting as well that Priestess took a shine to Hierda, because she expressed, despite the fact that her entire belief system got not just turned upside down, but also shattered completely. She's still keeping it kind of together, and is trying to actually find out more information on her own. She wants to basically absorb the info herself to make I guess, her own picture of the whole thing. Very interesting. And of course, Priestess takes shine to that, to that mindset. Again, Priestess doesn't strike me as a bad person, just as a person of... I don't think she has a high priority for current life existing the way it is, and let it evolve itself to see where it can reach. But we'll see how the story continues next time. For now, I will leave you guys off into the clip section. And, well, you can, like I said at the beginning of the video, you can listen to me and my stuffy nose and everything. Oh, one thing I do want to mention before I do that is, very interestingly, Chloe, the patient of warfarin. I wanted to bring her up earlier, but I was waiting until this cutscene was done as well. But, very interestingly, Chloe in her fever dreams of slowly being transformed by this mutated Originium, even before Amiya and Doc went into or over the boundary to see the singularity, and even before this scene with Hierda and the monolith happened, Chloe already dreamt it. She already dreamt about the Doc and Amiya going over a bridge. A bridge of light, essentially, which was essentially what they were doing to reach something else. Seeing a giant monolith as well in her dreams. Her dreams are very interesting and very prophetic. Whatever is happening with Originium, she's kind of slowly being capable of tapping into, like, visions of the future. I don't know if Chloe's gonna pass away by the end of the story or something, or if this is gonna lead to something else, but this is a very interesting concept to keep in mind, that someone is capable of foreseeing future events before they happen, purely because of this new type of Originium that is slowly mutating and transforming their body. Very curious what that is gonna entail and be like in the future of the story, but we'll see about that. Maybe by the end of this chapter, or maybe by the next chapter, or whatever, wherever they're gonna bring that up again. But yeah, cool thing to keep in mind. But anyway, thank you very much for listening and watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Sorry for all the yapping, but I think this chapter really demands a lot of yapping. I am terrified of how much yapping I'm gonna be putting into the finale. Oh god. Someone stop me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. It would help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open on the channel. And as I always say, no video will be behind a membership. It's purely there for support. So thank you very much to all the members already doing so. Much appreciated. And I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy the clip section and bye-bye. Oh, we're on the ship. Oh, we're on the ship now. Rhodes Island. The Rhodes Island of the past. Hey, I was correct. This is the ship of the past. So it was a spaceship at one point. Vindication part 2. I'm in full confusion mode. Like, what? Don't worry, my child, my daughter. You will learn. You will learn about the origins of the now landship once spaceship. Oh, I love this. Looks like you're in good spirits today. I guess our efforts paid off. Oh, oh no. I just need a random normal voice. Okay, hi. We're gonna talk to ourselves now. This is gonna be a simulated version of ourselves in the past. Oh boy. A primitive construct, proud purring. Oh no. Oh no. Is this gonna be what I think it's gonna be? Oh no, please no. Protect yourself, Amaten. I was right. Oh god. Oh, this is gonna be wild for the both of them. Especially for Amia. Oh boy. Well, especially for Amia and the dog in different matters. Ignore that person and the thing by their side. No, don't ignore that person and the thing by their side. Keep watching. That is important for you, you dingus. You should watch what they're doing. And think about who the thing is in front of him. What we need is somewhere else. God damn, come on. Oh, okay, fuck it. Fuck it.
You're right. Since Dr. Katzen believe we...
Katzen is right there. Oh, right. Luz sent us a message. There's been a rare breakthrough in the Karula Arbor. Hey, I think the list... Actually, I don't remember. I think I'm gonna have to expand the list. I think I put that already in. I need to check. Oh god, yeah. Lu, huh? So that was... Okay, back in... Yeah, right, back in keep forgetting the name, shit. Path of Life. Back in Path of Life, there was a CG in the past where the giant, genetically modified, engineered, yada yada, changed, Faramut that they were experimenting on, was interacting with someone there who was overseeing the whole procedure, essentially. And the silhouette was kind of very similar. I mean, the clothing is probably similar to what the Doctor is wearing, but back then I thought that it potentially might be the Doc, because the Doc was mentioned in everything Karula Arbor related as well. But Luha, so we have a name now to the guy that was the silhouette in that picture, I guess. No matter where in this vast universe you came from, I bid you to witness. What is this now? Is he actually talking to the people he doesn't see but knows? Or, sorry, he. Are they actually talking to the people they don't... Oh boy, this is wild. Okay.
物どもは死を哀悼するが、死そのものが哀悼を示すことはない。
What are you? Sarkis caster with the body of origin temporarily halts your DP regeneration? Oh no, you motherfucker, you don't. Shortly after it enters the battlefield? Huh? You piece of shit. Oh, you piece of shit. Okay. You'll need to do the cognition baseline test too, Amia. First though, get some rest.
Alright, Dr. Katzen.
She's pissed. Oh, I can feel it like, uh-oh, we need a boo-boo. Continue with the calibration. Do you agree with Rhodes Island's ideals? Yes. What is this, linchpin? What is happening here right now? Is this Carlton doing her own linchpin right now? Uh-oh, back to this. Ugh, what is that cracking sound? Oh, hi. Originium entity perceives silently. Why do you look like a reunion member? A replica? Roaming through the ship, she encounters that being by the name of Ray Distorter once again, and the presence that gazes upon death alone in deep space. Every trace that she was ever here has disappeared. Yeah, you're in a simulation. You are in a simulation. You are not actually somewhere else. You're in the assimilated universe.
No. Am I still dreaming? This is not a dream. But it's not reality either. You were looking for me, weren't you?
Oh boy, here she comes. Doing high-pitched voices with my nose clogged is shit. Oh hey, I was looking away from from the screen for a second. I was looking at OBS for a brief moment. And my file over there. Okay. Rhode Island now, huh? The black... yeah, that's the second paragraph. Okay. Friston does not understand why his daughter chose this as their meeting place. Trevor Friston, whoa! Oh, I was thinking for a sec, is he just thinking about his past? No, this, I guess, is a memory of his past, or what is happening? Oh, he's dreaming about the past, is he? Oh god. Oh, we're back here. Sunshine. Oh, we're back here? Hi? Why are we back here? Hello? God, that Kirsten jump scare. I've never known you. Whoa, what was this? Who the devil turned off the light? Damn it! Why have you imprisoned me here? Oh. Oh. Oh, from Friston to Friston 3. Okay. He printed his own dream. Oh. Wow. Damn. Okay. Wow. I mean, yeah, he does have that old-timey camera on his side there to immediately print whatever he's photographing, so... Okay. Huh, is this because he is disconnected now from the from PRTS, so he is kind of more back to being like a normal person almost? Is it? Maybe not. Popcar again. Why is Popcar is getting a lot of attention in the main story? What is happening? I'm scared. Popcar stands up and looks to the porthole next to her. Uh-oh. What? Popcar, main story CG. Whoa. Popcar is seeing ghosts in a machine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Reality and a simulated universe overlapping. Alright. She sees many strange people.
Who are they? No new visitors? The other side of the porthole is supposed to be the deck. Are these people lost?
And they're gone. And they're back. Decode basis alpha does not initially attack, transforms into different forms once it has taken 4 physical attacks, 4 arts attacks, or if it is blocked. Uh-huh. Oh, they're kind of like the squids in the Mizuki fight that transform once they come into contact with something. Huh, funny. Oh, good. Oh, good. This is great. This is absolutely great. I did say that the death flags on the ship have been raised at the beginning of this story. I think we're getting to it. Either it's gonna be very heavily damaged, or it's gonna go through some absolute hideous shit. Ow, my tinnitus! Focused on the path ahead, you fail to notice a little detail on the massive crystal formation that you just passed. It is not your figure that... Oh god, oh no, oh no! It is not your figures that are reflected in the smooth surface of the Originium crystal. A cautious girl with her back to you, her thin, fragile hand held by another, just like you and Amia right now. She really was... Okay, I was thinking it the whole time, but I think the story is about to confirm my thoughts. Did she really just save a dying bunny girl purely because she wants to know a bit how the doctor felt back then, I guess, when he saved or when they saved the the bunny girl that they're holding hands with now. How I know you're obsessed with that person, but come on, there are limits. There are limits to obsession, you know. Good lord. Even mimicking. Okay. Okay, shut up in the background. Shut up in the background right now. I really need to learn my lesson here and stop stopping the recordings every time I'm done with a cutscene, because that's how I usually deal with this. What the shit am I looking at on the top right now? Please keep repeating this. Please go back. Oh, you motherfucker. Hold on. Oh, the menu changed here as well. It's not anymore the other thing. Oh, okay. God, I hope this can be repeated. I can see it on the recording because luckily I literally hit record again immediately the moment I noticed something. You found me. You have many questions. I will wait for you. Don't worry about PRTS. It's simply carrying out the duty that we conferred on it. I never permitted it to harm you. Gee, thanks! You're very... lovely. Okay, cool. Cool. Good to know. It repeats if you beat a stage. Huh. What in the fuck am I looking at? I think the camera feed is getting a bit wonky. Uh-huh. Bear witness the death of the gods. What? Hello, X asterisk? Obelisk? Thingy? Why is this thing here? What are these ripples? And what is that thing? Hi? Okay, so this thing is not just like recording the presence of life throughout the universe, but it's also intrinsically, I guess, linked to it. And if something is happening to the universe itself, it starts to crumble. Damn. Oh god, run here now. Wow, that thing is large. Wow, the thing is way larger than I thought. The one in the similar thing that was in X asterisk was way smaller. It was barely taller than a person. Whoa, the background on this thing, that is a huge thing. Holy shit.
Your death has already occurred. I did not intervene in the process of matter being converted to information.
Oh, she died? Also, it's really horrible to do these voices when my nose is still clogged. Jesus Christ, fucking... I hate this. Anyway, sorry for anybody listening to me sniffle away in the clip section. Okay, so here that... I was saying already that here is probably in the assimilated universe. And so far it's being kind of confirmed quite a lot. So she did essentially die and her data got literally linked into the thing, and just because Priestess is kind of curious about her probably, or just the people of Terra that the doc is so infatuated by, essentially. She probably just invited her to speak to someone from that race directly. And it's definitely not a coincidence that she picked a bunny. It's definitely not a coincidence that she picked a bunny out of everybody that she could. Okay, so yeah, she died. She died, and she is, or rather her data was preserved in the assimilated universe as an entity instead of letting it disintegrate into just a pool of information.
Oh, but you are, Hierda. You and those like you are very special.
God, I hate that expression on her face right now. That is not a I care about you expression. That is a scientist looking at a test subject expression. Oh boy, a person of faith having their faith absolutely shattered. Oof. That must be quite something you are going through right now, Hierda. I see. Her silhouette appears on every facet. There's someone next to her? Oh, he sees this. They are seeing the scene. Uh-oh.
From here, I can observe everything of your world. You are the second being from this civilization to interact with me.
Ooh, the second. The first has to be... good lord, why is the name right now? Theresis, right?
Someone has been waiting for me. For far too long.
Oh boy. Go back. Go back. What was that? What was that background? Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. I want to screenshot that. Hold on. What was that? Can you do it again? Hi. Got you, bitch. Okay. 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 I was asked if I noticed something on auto-resolving stages, but so far I haven't seen that yet, so this is apparently where it starts, huh? Yes, yeesh. Ooh.